Hi, my name is Jana Kay, and welcome to my channel, Flourish, Faith, and Fiber. And this is Flourish Creatively podcast number 34. So I really do appreciate all of you joining me. I am so blessed to have so many subscribers, new subscribers coming in, and really blessed by the subscribers who have been with me for a long time. I appreciate all of you. Glad you are here for this probably pretty quick video as far as yarn is concerned. And so welcome in the description box below. You can find all the ways you can connect with me through Facebook, Instagram, my Ravelry pages, and email as well. So all of that is in every video, always listed below, as well as any of the people, podcasters, designers that I do mention. So let's get started. I do have a couple of quick finished objects. Or finished projects. I did join in the month of August to Battle of the Stitches. You've heard me talk about that if you've seen my previous videos or podcasts, then you have seen me talk about or heard me talk about them. Teresa at Critters Crochet, Heather at Strings and Threads, and then they have several podcasters, people join in each month. And the way it works is on the first Wednesday of the month, they introduce the stitch pattern and do a tutorial. The second Wednesday, they give a sneak peek of the original design project they are doing. The third week is the reveal, and then those viewers get to vote on the project they like the best. And then the fourth week, which we had, what's today? So for me, today's Thursday, this is coming out on Friday. It was Wednesday, all that to say. It was Wednesday that we had the live, and the winner of the voting, the people that voted, was chosen. The winning project was revealed, and the winner of the voting gets the winning project. And so I will put a link. We met on Teresa's channel, so I'll put the link here and also in the description box below of that live if you want to catch it and see, or catch the replay and see who the winners were and what the next stitch. It's a kind of a sneak peek of the next stitch pattern coming up for the month of September. And so, yeah, it was quite a bit of fun. And I had finished, it's a basic rectangle, but this was my first time to really design an original pattern, but it is actually a cozy for a French press. And I added little buttons on. The way I did it is I did a single crochet row, then this was the crossed single crochet stitch, and then finished with a double crochet row so that the buttons would fit around the French press. Well, that is actually a finished project that I revealed 2 weeks ago, well, a week and a half ago, and for the voting, and then showed on the live on Teresa's channel on Wednesday. But I had also finished another project that I haven't shown you. And, well, let me say, I had done a coaster as well, put a little button. And so what I finished this past week was a cup cozy. So it's a whole set. You have your French press cozy, you have a coaster to put your cup or your mug on, and now a cup or mug cozy. And I created this little strap, I guess you call it, here that is adjustable. I did the same way. I did started out with a single crochet row so I could attach the button. I, in this case, finished with a single crochet because I did the strap in double crochet so that you could adjust it to the size of your mug. I did a basic, I think it's about 4 inches wide here to accommodate, or maybe it's 3.5, something like that, to accommodate most cup heights. But then added this strip so that you can go from a smaller circumference mug to a larger circumference mug. And I just basically took 3 of my mugs that I have here at this house and tested it from the biggest around to the smallest and from the shortest to the tallest. And so now it is a complete set. A mug cozy, a French press cozy, which was my project, and a coaster. So there you go. So got that completely done, and I'm going to hold this up closer so you can see the beautiful stitch pattern of that crossed single crochet. So that is a finished object. My second finished project is I did another pair of baby booties. This will go to Kim at Yarning for a Smile. She is donating them to a local charity to her. And I wanted to try, so I've been doing baby booties in different ways. And the first, it was the even moss stitch. I think I did a design with the even moss stitch, if I remember correctly. Or it could have been the double crochet cross stitch. Anyway, I've been doing decorative edges. The original pattern, you just single crochet and fold down. But I've been trying different decorative edges. So this one, I used the cross single crochet. So decided that, hey, I made a French press and a mug cozy and a coaster with it. I might as well try to put that decorative edge on top of the baby booties. And I think it turned out really pretty. So this was baby booty number 6 that I'm sending to Kim. I may do one more. My plan is to get the hats for Bumblebee Mountain Outreach, K&K Crochets, Outreach or charity, and to Kim at Yarning for a Smile for hers, to get those hats and booties out by the day after Labor Day and get those packaged up and ready to send out that day. So I'm going to work on that through the end of August. I got a couple more days to get those done. Maybe another pair of baby booties. I don't know about a hat because I have 2 more days to continue working on the shawl, which leads me into my works in progress. I am not showing you the shawl because I showed some progress. I have 2 more days to work on it. So what I'll do is I will do a video clip to insert that shows the finished shawl and all the updates about it, and Reggie at J Hook Crochet, her patterns and where you can find them. But want to work on it until August 31st, which was the agreement between Reggie and and I do want to make it a little bit bigger, not much bigger. And you know, shawls, that the wider they go, then the longer it takes to get each row done. And so for me, as I showed in last week's podcast, it is big enough for me, and I can call it quits, but I do want to keep working on it a little bit, just make it a tad bit bigger so it will hang on my shoulders nicely if I choose to wear it that way, and won't be too big to wear as a scarf. I think in the last episode I said shawl, but to wear as a scarf around my neck. It won't be too big and bulky, so it'll be great for fall, maybe even into winter here. And so yeah, so we'll do a clip and put it in next week's podcast. The other work in progress is still my sock. I am working on that, working on the foot, and I will give you an update next week on that. And let's just move on to plans. Some of my plans: I am finishing up the book for hashtag Hooking Up with Books with Caroline at Caroline for the Love of Crochet and Cassandra at Craftably Ever After. And I have decided on my project, so I will begin working on that. I am still joining in with Lisa at Happy to Hook Creations. She will be putting out her next greeting card that she will draw from her stack of greeting cards. She'll be putting that out the first part of September. And the other crochet along is the hashtag Amigurumi World Tour, which I need to do a little bit of catching up with that. I am not doing all the projects. I'm kind of basically picking out the easier ones to do just time-wise, because the other project I am working on is for my series Bougie Crochet. Got to get all those vowels correct. Bougie Crochet Wearables. And I am on the body, which is just straight half double crochets all the way around. And I didn't put out a video this week because that's all the part I'm on. But hopefully we'll put out one next week when I have finished at least that part, just the rows and rows or rounds and rounds of half double crochet, and update you next week on that. And so with that going on, with the shawl, with some of the other make-alongs that I have been involved with, I'm not doing all of the projects in the Amigurumi World Tour, but want to do a few. The other thing that is yarn related that I have begun is I have began a course on technical editing or tech editing, which means when the course is finished in the next, let's see, I'm on week 3. Yes, week 3. So 4 more weeks after this week, I will be able to edit crochet patterns. And what that means is, like you edit, or authors get their books edited to check for grammar, punctuation, all of that. But with crochet patterns, it also can involve editing charts. Definitely involves math and spreadsheets, because you have to check and edit stitch counts, row counts, even measurements if it's wearables, and making sure that the measurements make sense, are right, and even conversions, because patterns are shared throughout the world, so it's got to be in centimeters and inches and all of that. There is quite a lot involved, even checking the yarn that was used in a project, and is that weight and yards or meterage, is that consistent? Is that's what's on the ball band? You check for all of that to make sure that when the pattern goes out to pattern testers, that they have got a good quality, ready to go pattern. And so because I always say I'm a left brain person, that's my left brain, and love maths and all of that, I thought this would be a great way to yes, earn an income and help with living expenses here now that we have moved back to the US. But also, I did some baking. So I love to bake, and I did baking for a shop. And having to get baking out to, and it was keto, or what we call in South Africa, banting baking, but getting it out to the public kind of took away the love I had for baking for our family. And so I'm not yet really creative enough to come up with my own pattern designs, but I also thought that selling crochet might take away that love I have for it, and that it is a hobby. But I thought with tech editing, it would be a great way to keep in contact with people in the crochet industry, and maybe I'll move into knitting as well. We'll see. But keep in contact and still do something with the hobby I love without it really taking away that love I have for making projects, and in a sense keep the crochet and knit time I do in the mornings and evenings a fun, relaxing time where there's no pressure for deadlines or to get something perfect out for someone who's buying it. And so that is my project, I guess, that you would say that I am working on for the future. So I want to remind you that if you are seeing this video on the day it was released, which is August 30th, 2024, that you still have a few hours to comment in the last podcast 33, that I will link right here and in the description box below. You need to comment on that with the keywords in that video to be in the running to win the prize. As I celebrate, I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers, so celebrating that along with my 59th anniversary, and September is the 2-year anniversary of my channel. So a lot to celebrate, and so make sure you check out that video, you comment with the keywords so you can be in for the drawing of the prize. There are 2 prizes, and so you can sign up for both by putting in your comment the 2 keywords, or just for one and just putting whichever one of the keywords you want. So I am going to put in here some clips of our house. Yes, we closed Monday on the house. We've been moving things in. Our crate arrived on Tuesday, and so I'll put in a few clips here of our update on moving. So I hope you enjoyed all those pictures of moving in, getting our crate, and the video of me unfolding the rug that I bought. I was so excited about it and unfolded it, ready to put furniture on it. And then I looked at the directions and it said after unfolding, you had to roll it up and leave it rolled for 24 hours. But as you can see, 24 hours later, I was able to unroll it and vacuum it. And I need to clean this couch. It is quite dirty. It's one that we brought over in our crate from South Africa. And so I need to do a little bit of cleaning before I actually place everything onto the new rug. But very excited to roll it out. It is a soft wool. As a yarn lover, fiber lover, it is a great wool rug, and so excited about spending cozy evenings on the rug. I actually like to sit on the floor every once in a while. My short legs, couches, chairs aren't always that comfortable because my feet don't always touch the ground. And hence we have an ottoman for the couch, but just sometimes it's really nice to sit on a squishy rug on the floor, lean back against the couch and enjoy TV. I'll turn the camera a little bit. We actually have a non-working fireplace. It is hooked up for gas, but it doesn't have a flue, so we can't burn wood, but that's all right. That'll make some nice cozy evenings sitting in front of the fire. So I hope you enjoyed that little bit of an update, and we're gonna move into our last chapter of Luke, our Bible reading, which comes from Luke chapter 24. On the first day of the week, very early in the morning, they came to the tomb, bringing the spices they had prepared. They found the stone rolled away from the tomb. They went in, but did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. While they were perplexed about this, suddenly 2 men stood by them in dazzling clothes. So the women were terrified and bowed down to the ground. "Why are you looking for the living among the dead?" asked the men. "He is not here, but he has risen. Remember how he spoke to you when he was still in Galilee, saying, 'It is necessary that the Son of Man be betrayed into the hands of sinful men, be crucified, and rise on the 3rd day?'" And they remembered his words. Returning from the tomb, they reported all these things to the 11 and to the rest. Mary Magdalene, Joanna, Mary the mother of James, and the other women with them were telling the apostles these things. But these words seemed like nonsense to them, and they did not believe the women. Peter, however, got up and ran to the tomb. When he stooped to look in, he saw only the linen cloths. So he went away amazed at what had happened. Now, that same day, 2 of them were out on their way to the village called Emmaus, which was about 7 miles from Jerusalem. Together, they were discussing everything that had taken place. And while they were discussing and arguing, Jesus himself came near and began to walk along with them. But they were prevented from recognizing him. Then he asked them, "What is the dispute that you are having with each other as you were walking?" They stopped walking and looked discouraged. The one named Cleopas answered him, "Are you the only visitor in Jerusalem who doesn't know the things that have happened there in these days?" "What things?" he asked them. So they said to him, "The things concerning Jesus of Nazareth, who was a prophet, powerful in action and speech before God and all the people, and how our chief priests and leaders handed him over to be sentenced to death, and they crucified him. But we were hoping that he was the one who was about to redeem Israel. Besides all this, it's the 3rd day since these things happened. Moreover, some women from our group astounded us. They arrived early at the tomb, and they didn't find his body. They came and reported that they had seen a vision of angels who said he was alive. Some of those who were with us went to the tomb and found it just as the women had said, but they didn't see him. He said to them, "How foolish and slow you are to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Wasn't it necessary for the Messiah to suffer these things and enter into his glory?" Then, beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he interpreted for them the things concerning himself in all the scriptures. They came near to the village where they were going, and he gave the impression that he was going further. But they urged him, "Stay with us, because it's almost evening, and now the day is almost over." So he went in to stay with them. It was as he reclined at the table with them that he took bread, blessed it, and broke it, and gave it to them. Then their eyes were open, and they recognized him, but he disappeared from their sight. They said to each other, "Weren't our hearts burning within us while he was talking with us on the road and explaining the scriptures to us?" That very hour they got up and returned to Jerusalem. They found the 11 and those with them gathered together, who said, "The Lord had appeared to Simon." They began to describe what had happened on the road and how he was made known to them in the breaking of the bread. As they were saying these things, he himself stood in their midst. He said to them, "Peace be to you." But they were startled and terrified and thought they were seeing a ghost. "Why are you troubled?" he asked them. "And why do doubts arise in your hearts? Look at my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Touch me and see, because a ghost does not have flesh and bones as you can see I have." Having said this, he showed them his hands and feet. But while they were still amazed and in disbelief because of their joy, he asked them, "Do you have anything here to eat?" So they gave him a piece of a broiled fish, and he took it and ate in their presence. He told them, "These are my words that I spoke to you while I was still with you, that everything written about me in the law of Moses and the prophets and the Psalms must be fulfilled." Then he opened their minds to understand the scriptures. He also said to them, "This is what is written. The Messiah would suffer and rise from the dead the third day, and repentance for forgiveness of sins would be proclaimed in his name to all the nations, beginning in Jerusalem. You are witnesses of these things. And look, I am sending you what my Father promised. And as for you, stay in the city until you are empowered from on high." Then he led them out to the village of Bethany, and lifting up his hands, he blessed them. And while he was blessing them, he left them and was carried up into heaven. After worshiping him, they returned to Jerusalem with great joy, and they were continually in the temple praising God. So thank you for joining me for just a few finished objects, a talk about a couple of works in progress, update on moving, and for this last chapter Bible reading in Luke. And I hope you all have a great day. We will see you next week for Bougie crochet wearables and for the next Flourish Creatively podcast. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.